Broadcasting to Stoke-on-Trent and the world. This is Six Towns Radio.
The time is 13:53 and you're listening to Parental Patter here on Six Towns Radio. Now, I'm very much hoping to have James Taylor from the James Taylor Quartet on the line. Are you there, James?
I am. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. And thanks so much for coming on to Parental Patter and coming on to Six Towns Radio here in the heart of the Potteries. Of course, you're down south, aren't you?
I'm in Kent, yeah. I'm sitting on the banks of the River Medway right now. The glorious River Medway.
Oh, absolutely lovely. I love Kent, actually, James, because I went to uni in Canterbury and it's an absolutely delightful county.
Yeah, that's a great town as well, Canterbury. I love it.
It is. It's absolutely fab. Now, it's wonderful to have you on the show, James, and obviously you're very well known on the jazz funk and the acid jazz scene, and it was amazing to catch you last Saturday evening when you ventured up north to do a gig at the Band on the Wall. How did you find the evening?
Oh, well, we had a wonderful time. We always have an amazing time. The Manchester crowd are really, if you get them right, if you give them what they want, they give you a lot back. And I felt that we delivered well, and the audience responded beautifully. So it was a really lovely thing. And we drove home after the show and we talked about it all the way back to London. It was just beautiful, absolutely lovely.
I think also for us Northerners, really, it's such a joy to have, some quality provision here in the region. I say
You've
that
got loads
because
of quality up there.
Well, we have in many ways,
yeah.
Particularly with theatre and music. But you know what, James? I'm here in Staffordshire, and it's not always easy to get access to kind of jazz or something that's a little bit different. So I think people like you need to venture up north a little bit more. Now, clearly, you're very much established on the jazz, on the music scene. You've been going nearly 30 years. How are you finding the kind of activities that you're involved with now? Because you're actually in the process of doing some really interesting collaborations that are kind of making things a little bit more different for you, aren't they?
Yeah, because, the beauty of this band is that because we kind of fairly sort of independent, we're not beholden to management or powerful record company or anything like that. We can kind of do what we want, and something that became very big for me in the recent years was the sound of the soprano sound in particular from cathedral choirs. I got very into Bach and a lot of that kind of stuff, and I wanted to use that sound in collaboration with what we do because I thought it would be so different and something completely kind of unheard of, certainly never been done before. And I just thought, well, why not? So I found a really amazing choir, the Rochester Cathedral Choir, and I spoke to the dean and the bishops and the people down there, and I said, look, I spend my life out on the road playing jazz festivals. I reckon my audience would love this sound if we reframed it, we recontextualized it. We took the cathedral sound, but we put a funky groove behind it. And I thought they were going to say, yeah, goodbye. But they were like, let's do it. They were very, very excited about the project, and they had to adapt, and we had to adapt, and we spent a few years finding out how to make it work, and then we cracked it, and we recorded an album.
And I think it emphasises your own kind of eclectic influences and tastes in music, that you've kind of organised this fusion and brought it together. And like you say, it is unique. It's something very innovative. But your own music, going back, as I say, near on 30 years, you've been influenced by all sorts of artists, haven't you?
Yeah. I like anything that's good, really, in music. Anything that touches me, from opera through to classical, through to funk, soul, punk rock, rock and roll, everything, Chuck Berry through to the Sex Pistols, through to, Maria Callas, whatever is quite of quality and really hitting the spot. When you're a member of an audience and you're watching something on stage, you know if it touches you. You don't have to be an aficionado or intelligent about the whys and wherefores of the music. If it touches your soul, a child will know. So anything like that, from Jimi Hendrix or if it's good, I'm into it, you know, and I want to use it in what I do, and I will draw from absolutely anything that I can find, including opera and church music.
And I think it's really exciting that also you're kind of ensuring that people, again, you know, are actually experiencing a wider influence where music is concerned. I know when I saw you in concert last Saturday, I mean, it was just such a vibrant night. But when I've been reading about the Rochester Mass, which obviously is the new album that's coming out, you know, I feel as a person who, again, like you, has an eclectic taste, I'm really interested to hear that, because it does sound different. And also, I mean, it's a really big choir that you've had involved with it, isn't it?
Yes. To get that sound, you need a lot of sopranos. So either women or kids, boys and girls. So the choir is 45 singers, 10 of which are altos, so males, adult males. The rest of which are kids, and they make that very high sound and very pure, sort of angelic sound. And that kind of, when we do a gig with them and we're kind of grooving around doing our grungy old thing, and that kind of really pure thing wafts across the top of your sound, honestly, it just sends shivers down you, and the whole band, they're kind of like, what is this, you know? And we're going to be doing that tonight. We're performing the Mass tonight in Rochester Cathedral, and it's always something so kind of, very, very different and wonderful.
I can imagine, actually. I mean, obviously it involves the Rochester Choir, but I mean, do you think there would be any possibility of you kind of obviously taking that performance outside of Kent? Could it be difficult, or do you feel that it might be possible to perform, say, in London, for example, where people might be able to, you know, come down and see it more easily, or hear it more easily, I would say?
Absolutely. Well, we've already performed it at the Queen Elizabeth Hall in London, and we're doing it with the Cathedral Choir at Ronnie Scott's Jazz Club. So that's London date. That's coming up on December the 3rd. But there's also what we're doing is we're touring the UK using the cathedrals. For instance, we're going to Lincoln Cathedral and going to perform the Mass there in May next year using Lincoln Cathedral Choir. And we're setting up the same thing in various other cathedrals, one down in Swansea, and we're speaking to Glasgow. So we're going to be going up and down the UK using their choir, because actually the logistics of getting 40 or 50 people up and down the country, you know, several hundred miles when they're going, some of them are like 11 years old, you know, it's not great. So you really, and also the cathedrals want to show off their own choirs, you know, and so, that's something that we certainly will be doing, and the one that we've got not just penciled but booked now is Lincoln Cathedral.
Oh, well, that's really great to hear. And one of the things I was hoping that might follow on from that is that you consider performing here in Staffordshire with the Lichfield Cathedral Choir, because, you know, beautiful, beautiful cathedral there. Yeah,
well, our guitarist, Dad, is the Bishop of Lichfield, so I'll ask him if we can do that.
Yes, please do. And it's really exciting. Now, of course, this new album is coming out in November on Cherry Red Records, isn't it? What date is it actually due out? It's at the end, isn't it?
November the 27th, and it's coming out. And if you go to the Cherry Red website, just Google cherryred.co.uk, you can pre-order a copy, and you can also get signed copies, or you can get, they're doing a limited edition 12-inch vinyl copies, people that are interested in vinyl. But there's all sorts of bits and pieces you can get with the record, and also there's lots of kind of film clips of the recording of the Mass and various interviews and things. So the Cherry Red website and also the JCQ Facebook page has got a lot of info on about it. But yeah, you can get it from Cherry Red, or you can get it on Amazon or wherever. On November the 27th, it's called the James Taylor Quartet and the Rochester Cathedral Choir, the Rochester Mass. So it's a liturgical Mass sung in Latin. I wrote the music. It took me ages and ages. It took me 4 months to write the music, and it was a big old job. But it's a funk album. You know, it's funky. Yeah. It's a dance record. But it's got an incredible sound on it. I
can imagine. Yeah, I'm so excited about it, James, to be honest, because I do love choral music, having, as I say, spent several years in Canterbury and going along to Evensong, and what a joy that was. And, you know, Allegri's Miserere and all that. I mean, it's absolutely awesome, and such an exciting prospect of you actually working with the choir and producing something that's so different. I mean, do you ever get bored of playing the Hammond organ? I mean, you're just brilliant at it, but do you ever think, oh gosh, got to do that again? Or do you so love it? Are you so passionate?
I mean, the Hammonds, interestingly, to work with, I took the Hammonds to the choir thing, and it just didn't work with that sound. So for the choir project, for the mass project, I'm using a Fender Rhodes piano, which is a softer sound and more kind of heavenly, more kind of angelic sound. But for the Hammond on stage, for instance, at the Band on the Wall, you couldn't pick a better instrument, really. It's kind of incredibly exciting, dynamic sound. I don't get bored. I get very, very excited. If anything, I get a little bit too excited, and then I have to kind of calm down afterwards. As I get older, I find it more and more of a privilege to be able to perform in public and people listen to our music. It's a huge honour. I mean, we're very, very lucky people to be able to do that. And playing such exciting music, no, you don't get bored. You just get a bit tired when you get old. You know, I'm old now.
I can completely believe that, James. And I have to say, the audience, I think they find you electric, and the whole band. I mean, the whole musicianship actually there. It's a cohesive whole, isn't it?
Very much so. Oh God, those guys are incredible. We've got a drummer comes from Lancaster, called Pat Illingworth, who is absolutely insane, and the stuff he does on that kit just drives us forward, you know. And I just have no worries, no doubts at all when we start to play, and I hear him kick in, you know. He fuels us. So that's quite a lucky thing to have on your side, a drummer that is just totally explosive and on it. You know, so yeah, we're lucky. It's a great little band. It really is.
It is indeed, and we're lucky actually. Lucky to have you on Six Towns, and lucky also, you know, to see you in concert. And I really hope you can organise something that brings you to Staffordshire. So do check out that Lichfield connection. And I just wish you loads of luck with this album, because I think it's going to be something that people are going to want to listen to, purely because it is so different, and the genres that it's marrying, I just think sound incredibly exciting and innovative, and it's great to know it's going to be out very soon.
Bordering on the bizarre. Such an extreme kind of juxtaposition of sounds, but it does work. It really does. So.
Well, there's no harm in having a bit of bizarre, James. It's been lovely to talk to you, honestly, and just it's a joy. And just to reiterate, it's out on Cherry Red Records on the 27th of November, and we'll be hopefully, you know, getting some of those tracks and playing it certainly on this show and publicising it more here, you know, north of the Watford Gap.
Brilliant. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you. All the best, James.
Cheers.
Thanks. Bye.